What's up, guys? Welcome into another reaction video. I'm your host, Donovan Jones. I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video because at the end, I'm going to share with you guys one of the biggest faith builders that the Lord has allowed me to experience so far. And I guarantee you that it's going to build your faith and strengthen your faith as well. It has to do with Hulvey. It has to do with the beautiful tour. I was able to go see him perform in Atlanta last September. So we're going to get into all that at the end, but you're going to want to stick around to the end. I promise you. All right, so full disclosure, guys, this song right here, I have picked just because I just felt like the Spirit was really heavily telling me to come in this direction. I've been listening to this song on repeat all day, so it's not a song that I haven't heard before, but I just felt like the Spirit was telling me I needed to get into this song today. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has sent me recommendations of songs to get into and different topics and things of that nature. We're going to get into all that on this channel, but today we're going to get into the song Altar by Hulvey. And so if you have never heard this song before, I just invite you to worship with me because this song, while it is a rap song, it is really just a song about worship. And so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this song, man. I'm excited about it.
Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame.
Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. All I can say is holy, can't get this off my lips. You love me with devotion, you don't kill me when I trip. Yeah, I need a sip from the river, just wanna get what you get. Give me unlimited vision.
So particularly that line right there that says, you do not kick us when we trip. You're never too far from God. There's nothing that you could do to ever separate you from God's love. I'm a truck driver, and a little while back, I was driving down the road, and as I was driving down one of the busiest roads here in Chattanooga, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. It was pitch black dark. I see a light that's a little bit down the road, and I'm thinking that light looks really weird. Like, I've not seen a light like that before. Is that a construction light? What's the deal? And the closer that I got to it, what I realized was it was a street light that had been knocked over, but it was still lit because it was still plugged into the source. And that is the same way with us. You might sometimes get knocked down. There might be times that you feel like you can't get back up, but your light is still shining. If you have the light of Jesus Christ inside of you, you're always plugged into the source. No matter if you fall down, no matter if you're crawling, you're always plugged into that source. And also the part where he's talking about building an altar, there are, as a truck driver, again, there's places along my route every single day that I have decided to literally build a personal altar, not getting out and building one, but mentally speaking, when I get to these places, I make it a point to get out and pray and say, Lord, this is a spot that every time I'm here, I'm going to pray to you. It doesn't have to be something long and drawn out, even if it's just a couple of minutes. Lord, thank you for keeping me safe throughout the day. Lord, thank you for my family. Thank you for X, Y, and Z. So I just want to encourage you throughout your day, where are some places that you can build altars to the Lord where you can know anytime you're at that specific place, I'm going to pray and thank God for whatever it is that God has blessed you in your life, because we are all blessed beyond measure.
See through the counterfeit, I want the realest. Where he come from, you can't get that with a PJ. It's so cool inside this house, I feel like DJ. I can't fight it, let your light come shine on me. Ain't no hiding, I'm confiding in your peace. Hey, hey, carrying buckets of shame. Father, I'm saying your name, but so far from it. Come see the blood in my veins. For me, he bleeding the same. Take this covenant, this is the greatest exchange. At his altar, there's a flame that burns your rubbish. Gave me a cup full of rain. He poured it over every stain until he come. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. I just turned a milli down to be home with my son. Y'all don't get it. I can't gain a thing if I've already won. Still don't get it. I was full back.
It reminds me of that verse. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?
When my bank account was none, cause Cause my God's the type to leave the 99 to get the one. This is life or death. I ain't making music just for fun. Glory to your name, Father. I pray that your kingdom come. And when Satan's on my heels, I pray it's Nike with the run. Make my heart be more like Hezekiah. Say it and it's done. Breakthrough. Lord Jesus, I need breakthrough. I've been doing things that made the Father have to break you. Living in my shame like the potter didn't shape you. But I know even in the storm, the water didn't wake you. The water didn't wake you. And that cross couldn't break you. Yeah, the darkness couldn't take you. Oh, yeah. Glory to the Father. You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame. Glory to the Father.
When you think about the story of the prodigal son, when the son finally comes to his senses and comes back home, scripture says that when the father saw the son coming a long way off, he ran to him. And in that culture, in that day, that is not something that a man would do, because in order for him to run, he would have to lift up his tunics. And to lift up his tunic, it would be exposing his bare legs. And that is something that was a big no-no in that day that was frowned upon. But what that picture showed us is that grace, the grace that that father had toward his son, outran the shame that the son had returning back to his father with his tail between his legs. That is the perfect example of our relationship with Christ. Grace will outrun shame every single time.
You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame. Glory to the Father. You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame. Glory to the Father. You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame.
All right, so one thing about Hulvey that I love, and he's in top 3, top 5 for me in terms of artists right now. The thing that I love about him the most is not only is he a dope rapper, like with his lyrics and things like that, but the way he can switch up mid-flow and then sing too. He's very, very multifaceted in that way where he's not just limited to one thing. He can do multiple different things. He's like a Swiss Army knife. And so I love that. And so I want to share with you guys just real quick one of the biggest faith builders that the Lord has allowed me to experience. And so, like I said, I went to the Hulvey concert in Atlanta in September. And when I got there, first of all, I went with my brother, my dad, my uncle, and my 2 cousins. I was the only one that bought the VIP. So I was the only one that got there early and took pictures with Hulvey and that kind of thing. And when I got there, I walked inside. And as I walked inside, I see a man and a woman sitting at a front desk. And I walk up to him and I say, hey, I'm here for the Hulvey concert. And the woman goes, okay, I'll show you where it's at. So she takes me over to this elevator. We go up the elevator and she's like introducing herself to me. She's like, yeah, I booked the talent here, this and that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Whatever. You know, like, why are you telling me? That's kind of what I was thinking. She opens up the elevator and we're kind of like where the show is going to take place, but nobody else is in there outside of the people that are setting up for the show. There's guys doing sound check on the stage. Tori Deshawn, who is one of the openers for Hulvey, was over there with his wife, setting up his merch table. Big Breeze, which was one of the other openers, was on stage doing a mic check. And so I walk over, there's a little bar area and I'm standing there and I'm like, man, this is the weirdest VIP that I've ever been to. I've been to several shows before where I've gotten the VIP access, but I've never, usually they hand you a lanyard or something like that. I've not been given anything, that nobody's checked me in. I'm kind of looking around. And as I'm looking around, nobody is looking at me like I'm out of place. Like everybody's doing something. I'm just standing there. Some people come up to me and they're like talking to me and stuff. And I didn't think anything about it. And then Hulvey's dad actually comes out. And I was blessed to have Hulvey on my podcast a little while back. So I did my research on him beforehand. I knew that was his dad. And so I said, hey, aren't you Chris's dad? And he's like, yeah. So we ended up talking. We ended up exchanging information. I'm going to try to get him on my podcast at some point. But nobody thought that it was weird that I was there. And so I went out and I called my wife and I said, man, this is the weirdest VIP that I've ever been to. Like, there's nobody else here. Maybe I'm just extremely early. But I don't know what's going on. Like security was dapping me up and stuff. I was meeting several different people. And as I'm talking to my wife, I'm standing outside and I start hearing a noise of people talking and stuff. I look down at the end of the building and there's a sign that says Lime Forms here. And I turn around and look up at the building and it says backstage. I had been backstage the whole time and didn't even know it. And so I was like, I'm just going to go back up in there. So I went in there, talked to Tori Deshaun a little bit, got his information as well. Like, hey, bro, do you want to come on my podcast? That kind of thing. And did the same thing with Big Breeze. And Big Breeze actually introduced me to his manager and that sort of thing. And it was just a really crazy experience. And then once it got a little bit closer to the show, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should get out of here. So I went outside, went to the show and everything like that. And it was an amazing show. On the way home, I'm praying and I'm thanking God, you know, this is a great show, this and that. And the Lord revealed something to me in that moment. I can put you in rooms that it doesn't make sense to you that you're in there, but nobody's going to question that you're in there. There is no limit to what I can do. And some of the things that you might be looking around saying, how did I get here? God put you in that space for a reason. And he showed me that day that no place is impossible to get into if God is on your side. If God is opening doors for you. And he really, really further proved it to me a couple months later when out of the blue, I'm on my phone, I'm deleting videos and stuff like that. I'm trying to clear space because constantly we're needing more space on our phones, right? And I see this video where I had recorded a 2-minute long video where basically I was feeling depressed. I was feeling down. I was feeling like maybe I wasn't walking in the calling that God had for me. And I said, you know what? I know that God has called me to do this, but right now I'm wondering, how's it even going to happen? How am I going to get there? Lord, show me a sign. Help me. Give me some confidence in this moment. And then I watched this whole video, and this was several months after the concert. And I looked at the date, and it was the morning of the concert. I didn't even realize it till months later. And so in that moment, I had to apologize to the Lord. I'm sorry, Lord, that you showed me that same day that I asked you, but I didn't even realize it until several months later. But it still hit me, and it was so impactful to me to see. I'm questioning in the morning, Lord, how am I going to get to where I feel like you're telling me I'm going to go? And then that night, he told me, I can put you in rooms that it doesn't make sense that to you that you're in there, but I've ordained you to be in that spot. And so I just want to encourage you in that way today. Don't ever downplay God. If you know that God has called you to do something, walk in it. Doesn't matter what Satan's telling you. Doesn't matter what the world's telling you. Doesn't matter what your family's telling you. Doesn't matter what anybody else is telling you. If you know that God has called you to do something, walk in it and watch him open doors for you. God bless you guys. Stay encouraged. If you guys have anything that you want me to react to, throw it down in the comments. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm fired up today if you can't tell. So I'm going to go run on the treadmill or something. God bless you guys.